James chapter 4, verses 1 to 3. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You desire, but you do not have, so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. This is quite a vivid description of the church. The language used here to describe the tension between people, it's pretty hectic. Quarreling, fighting, even murderous. Now, it's likely that reference to murder doesn't mean that these churches were literally murdering one another. It's probably more hyperbole. But there was certainly tension between these Christians in these churches. So the question is, what was causing the fights and quarrels among them? And if you have a look at this passage, you see that it's their desire for more. Their desire to accumulate is what is causing this tension between them. This is what he says: you desire, but you do not have, so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. At the start of verse 4, James calls this kind of behavior adultery. He says they are adulterous people. And adultery, don't need me to explain it to you. It's giving up the one that you love in order to devote yourself to someone else or to sleep with someone else. And that's what these people are doing with their God. They're giving up the one that they love in order to give themselves to someone else. In this case, wealth. This is actually something that Jesus was on about quite a bit. James's older brother referred to money as an alternative God, one that you can worship. This is what he says in Matthew 6. He says, you cannot serve both God and money. So that kind of sets up money as an alternative God. And the New Testament speaks about this in a lot of different ways. It talks about greed as idolatry, meaning you worship the money. But the issue here isn't the number in their bank accounts, or whatever the first century equivalent of that would be. It's not the amount of money that they have. It's the issue is the ways that they want to use their money. Verse 3 tells us, you amount all of this money that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. See, the amassing of money in order to simply dress in the greatest clothes, the amassing of money in order to eat at the finest restaurants, to go on beautiful holidays to beautiful locations, and to fill their homes with all of the nice new modern comforts. That's the problem with their amassing of money. The number itself of their dollars doesn't bring any guilt upon them. It's the way that they want to use their money. They want to spend it on their pleasures. Their desire for stuff is crippling their relationships with each other. So rather than loving their neighbors as themselves and loving their neighbors in the way that they use their money, they are hating their neighbors and hoping to get more stuff than them. Maybe even to the point of murder, certainly to the point of quarreling and fighting. So this is a really important time to remember that Jesus' creed was that we should love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, and we should love our neighbors as ourselves, which means that we need to love God with our heart, soul, mind, and strength in the way that we use our money. And then that works out to the way that we love our neighbors with our money as well. So we need to think about the way that we love our neighbors with our money, as well as loving God with our money. Be generous, be hospitable, be willing to share. Ask yourself this question: does my budget demonstrate a commitment to loving God and to loving my neighbors? Enjoy your day.